Good evening to you. Our top stories tonight. The government will be reintroducing price control over a few essential commodities, where there will be a maximum retail price that will be placed on the commodities imported and sold by the STC. This means that retailers purchasing the products from STC will not be allowed to sell the products higher than the price imposed by the STC. There are 14 commodities on the list of products that will have this maximum retail price. The Director General of the Trade Department says that it is the Fair Trading Commission that will enforce this new policy, and it will take effect as from October.
A maximum retail price on a few basic categories the STC sells to the public, to the retailers. Basically, the measure is to control just the products sold by STC to retailers, the basic categories, like the 14 basic categories, which is your sunflower oil, your rice, sugar, milk powder, lentils, and basically the category 1 products which STC sells, so as to have a maximum markup on it so that retailers cannot sell above the price. So we endeavor that this measure will come in place as of October. So this is a measure being installed by government to help to control the continued cost of living in the Seychelles. This is not a measure that we feel will affect competition as a whole, because we're only targeting products being sold by STC, so the other importers can keep operating as the normal market.
Banks and the Seychelles Credit Union will resume operations on Saturdays as of the 24th of September. This has been announced by the Central Bank of Seychelles. It is to be recalled that the closing of banks and the SCU branches on Saturdays was introduced in March 2020. The initiative was due to the health measures for the COVID-19 pandemic, primarily aimed at promoting digital payments in line with the agenda to modernize this national payment system. The decision for the institutions to resume Saturday operations will address challenges being faced by customers to access their funds, especially over the weekend, in view of some limitations that persist with the provision of digital financial services. The Minister for Investment, Entrepreneurship and Industry, Devika Vidot, has clarified that most businesses operating mobile food vans at the ex-children playground in Victoria have until February next year to move elsewhere. The minister said just 3 of those small businesses have been asked to move by October. They are the ones that are directly opposite the International Conference Centre. The others may remain on the premises until February next year. They will then have to make way for investors in the Victoria waterfront project to move in and start preparations for construction in January 2024.
The conditions of the lease agreement were very clear and stipulated that their occupation on the site is on a temporary basis, and that when the waterfront project is initiated, then they would have to vacate the premises. And this is exactly what has happened. So this administration has worked on the waterfront plan, and we're ready to put the plan into implementation. And this is the reason why we have communicated with the vendors. And just for us to be clear, we've had at least 3 meetings with them until now, and we've explained to them that the plan is in the implementation phase, and therefore the time has come for them to vacate the premises. And this is why they have been given an extension of 6 months. And during the 6 months, we have committed that we would support them to help them find alternative locations. However, they have to take the lead on this as well, because as a business, it is important, and location should be one of the determining factors of their business model. So it's going to be unfair for the government to impose a location on them. It's best that they determine where exactly they would like to have their business operate from. So therefore, this period of 6 months would give them the time for them to be able to find an alternative location. And Just to be clear that, and again, to reiterate that the lease agreement did make reference to when the implementation of the waterfront project begins, then they would have to vacate. So I just have to make sure that this is very clear. So the three vendors that we're referring to are being requested to move their vans. They can remain within the playground. The option to extend the lease for another 6 months is available to them. However, the specific location where they are at is what is causing the problem, and they're just being asked to shift their location. They can remain within the playground for the next 6 months, but just to shift because the Ministry of Lands requires vacant possession of that part of the property.
Blue Invest Africa ended its session this afternoon. This business-to-business networking event was for entrepreneurs and investors in the blue economy. 22 companies and organizations from Africa had the chance to present their project ideas to potential investors across Europe and Africa. The 6 best presenters were rewarded with a certificate and a cocotte mer. During the closing ceremony this afternoon, the Minister for Fisheries and the Blue Economy, Jean-François Ferrari, said that this event was a success and it will help to promote the blue economy sector in Africa.
I'd like to commend the European Union for the leadership it has demonstrated in the process of making this event a reality, and for the trust it has put in the young generations of Africans. I thank you for honoring your commitments of making this event a reality. This be just the beginning. I am confident that the future is bright for both our continents and that we may serve as an example to the rest of the world. Your role in this world as thinkers, pitchers, advocating for and incorporating the protection of the oceans and seas into your ideas is indispensable and of incredible importance. I am truly encouraged by your enthusiasm and your passion.
The representative of the European Union is satisfied with the progress of the aquaculture facility at Providence. The Director General for Marine Resources and Fisheries, Charlina Vicheva, was visiting the facility as part of the Blue Invest Africa event. The visit was to give the participants an example of an existing successful investment on the African continent in the blue economy sector. She said that the strongest point was the fact that the SFA, being responsible of the project, kept the work there on a local context.
You use of course, the water. You use the species that are local here, and then you will use also for the cages back to the ocean environment. So I think it is a nice project, very nice project, and I would hope that it will be valuable because they would produce a lot of small fish that can be also used by other establishments. So they have a pioneering job, so they have to demonstrate that it works, but everything that I've seen is quite positive. What is also very important to have enough skillful labor force, and I like very much that there is an interest from the school nearby that can provide traineeship, but also labor force and probably future people that will work on a permanent basis for the establishment. So we are extremely happy to see that the support we are giving makes sense. It's a meaningful project and it stirs business opportunities in the country where we find a very strategic partner.
The Minister responsible for tourism, Sylvestre Radegon, has met with the Minister for Tourism of Sierra Leone, Dr. Meimunatu Pratt. Minister Pratt is visiting Seychelles to study the tourism industry of the country. According to her, Sierra Leone is looking to further develop its tourism industry. The Minister and her delegation have chosen to study Seychelles as tourism is the biggest source of income for the country. And the President of the Republic, Wavel Ramkalawan, will hold the third live presidential press conference for the year 2022 with local media outlets and journalists tomorrow, Friday the 9th at 5 p.m. The press conference will be broadcast live on SBC Television, Radio Sicile and Paradise FM. Those are our main stories so far this Thursday evening. Join me again at 8. Bye for now.